Hey y'all, let's catch a vibe and let's talk about studying the art of, honestly, maybe not mastering, but being proficient at balancing our lives with school, personal things, with work for some of you that work while in OT school. That's what we're going to be doing today. Today, I will provide you with practical tips and tricks to juggle academics, work commitments, and personal life with finesse, honestly. It is me, Amira Yasmin, your host, aka the Soulful OT, and today we're outside. So, as I always say before starting, take what resonates with you and leave what does not. I'm going to say it again. Take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Let's get into it. So in my personal experiences from going from high school to undergrad to graduate school, I honestly found myself in different phases where my mastery of mastering, or understanding the study work-life balance changes, because as we grow up, our responsibilities grow up and change with us, honestly. So as a senior OTD student at Howard, I have had to learn and unlearn different ways to help me with managing my life with school, honestly. So sometimes I found myself on the verge of experiencing burnout and exhaustion. Sometimes I get there. And hence why that's so important for us to even talk about what burnout is, what managing those three things together can look like, because honestly, I want to be there to help you all, kind of like a big sister, as I always said. So we always hear about burnout in terms of what it means to the practitioner, work burnout and things like that due to high productivity rates and things like that. But what about the student? What about if we question the notion that burnout could possibly start in OT school? I don't know. So, academic burnout is described by researchers as a mechanism by which you don't want to engage with your workload as a result of exhaustion, feelings of inadequacy, lack of motivation, and overall decreased well-being. We always hear people discuss, oh, just push through it, you got this. But what does that even mean? What does that even look like? What does pushing through look like? How does that make you feel? Does pushing through make you feel accomplished, or does pushing through make you feel more tired? In my opinion, pushing through makes me feel way more tired. It makes me feel more tired. I'm here to tell you, and like I said, these are my thoughts. Pushing through without addressing your individual symptoms and needs puts the burn in burnout. Okay? Puts the burn in burnout. Make that a quote, y'all. Make that a quote. So let's take a second. I want you to think about the symptoms that you may experience when trying to balance school with life, and how do you show up for yourself in these situations? Are you a person that isolates yourself, as we talked about in the stress management podcast episode? Are you a person that is super needy? How do you show up for yourself? How do you show up for others in times of needs? Which is especially when you're trying to balance school with work, with relationships, with family, with birthday parties and graduate, everything, right? So my strategy that I use and that I have researched would be to retreat and strategize, right? So let's talk about the retreat. And in that order, I want you to go back to the stress management episode and figure out what ways work for you in terms of relaxation, retreating, rejuvenation. Even if you can only spare 10 to 15 minutes daily, make sure that you do it. Because as I've said before, you matter. You matter to me. You matter to this universe. You matter to God. Whatever you believe in, you matter, right? So you must take care of yourself in order to be successful. So yes, you need to get your quality sleep, as they always say, right? Engage in your favorite occupations, schedule breaks for yourself, do what you need to do to recuperate. But now, once you do that, you're going to come up with a plan to tackle these responsibilities, right? That's your strategy. That's where you start to strategize. You've retreated. You've taken a second for yourself. Hey, I need to step back. I'm about to lose it. I'm crying because I'm so overwhelmed. You don't want to get to that point. You want to catch yourself before you get there. Retreat. Take a deep breath. Let's do it right now. Ready? Hold. See what that can do? Just a little deep breath. So now that we have retreated, we're going to strategize, right? And I invite you all, before I continue, to share some ways in the comments how you balance school with your life. You never know, you could really help somebody else. So like I always say, this is a safe space. Remember that there are no wrong answers, no wrong ways to go about things. We support each other around here, okay? Thank you. So next strategy is time management. How do you manage your time? Comment down below. Are you a procrastinator? Are you a go-getter? Like, are you both? Because honestly, I will procrastinate, and I'm also a go-getter. There's polarity. We all have our layers. We all have our depths to us, right? So, of course, per usual, there's so much out there on the internet. And the reason why this podcast is so special is because not only am I voicing my opinions as an OT student, but I have done literature reviews on literature reviews on literature reviews, y'all, to find this information to give you, to let you know that these strategies have been researched by scholars, right? Have been studied and created by scholars, okay? So do with that as you will, right? So the three techniques that we have are the Pomodoro techniques. You have your time blocking strategies in the Eisenhower matrix. And of course, it depends on you and what resonates with you most. So first things first, are you a morning person? Do you get up with the birds, the sun's rising, you do your workout, you ate breakfast, you ready to get started? That's me. I'm a morning person. Or are you a night person? Are you like, I'm a sleep in, I'll get up, enjoy my workout and stuff, and I'll probably just get my work done at night when it's quiet, no one else is around, no one's bothering me, no one's asking me nothing. Let's think about that really quick. Okay. So remember I told y'all, my bedtime is 9 p.m., maybe 10. So I like to get started on my work early. Y'all are going to probably laugh and be like, Amira, you're insane. Remember I told y'all my bedtime is like 9 p.m., maybe 10. So I like to get started on my work early. I like to honestly get up by 5, do my little exercise, take my time to shower, Remember, heavy on the look good, feel good, smell good. And start my work by 7 or 8 a.m., right? And I like to be done by 7 or 8 p.m. because my body starts to shut down. My mind is like, girl, it's time for bed. The sun is gone. Like, it's time for us to go to bed. So you want to prioritize your power hour. When is your power hour? When do you have the most energy? When do you feel the most productive? Think about that, because that'll really help you not only in occupational therapy school, but life in general, right? Because you know who you are as a person and how well you operate. So let's move on to the first time management technique. It's called the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro in Italian means tomato, y'all. Interesting, right? Look it up. I'll provide the articles and links to the various techniques that I give you down in the description, okay? So Pomodoro is based on 25-minute stretches, focused work broken by 5-minute breaks, like broken up by 5-minute breaks. So your longer breaks, typically up to 15 to 30 minutes, are taken after at least 3 to 4 consecutive work intervals. So those 25-minute intervals, right? So you will complete a series of 25-minute focused non-stop work with 5-minute breaks in between each Pomodoro. Your Pomodoro is your 25-minute interval. After approximately 4 Pomodoros, you can take a longer break of like 20 to 30 minutes, whatever you prefer, honestly. I personally use this when there's like a daunting task. Like I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I need to get it done. I will typically use this method starting early in the morning, as I said, because I'm a morning person, and that's when I have the most energy. Next, we have the Eisenhower matrix, which is essentially a way to organize tasks by urgency and importance. So you can effectively prioritize your most important work, right? It is done by setting up a piece of paper or whatever you like to write on. I know we all use I have an iPad. I literally have iPhone, Mac, iPad. I don't have an Apple Watch, so I'm kind of incomplete, y'all. But yeah, so you can use whatever you like. You're just going to make 4 quadrants, right? A line down the middle and a line across. Quadrant 1, which is the top left, which is your do category. This is where you're going to list your tasks that are both urgent and important, right? Quadrant 2 is your schedule category. So this is where you're going to place your tasks that are important but not urgent. Like the deadline isn't like next week, right? Quadrant 3 is the delegate category, where you place any tasks that are urgent but not pressing to where it impacts your goals. Like for instance, we just started the beginning of the semester, right? And in our class Phys Diz in our Howard University Occupational Therapy program, we have something called an assessment portfolio, where we have to pretty much put all the assessments that may be used in Phys Diz into one portfolio with research, how you would use it, what materials you need. And you can imagine, luckily, we were given 86. We had to do 86, but they told us in the beginning of the semester. That's something I would put into quadrant 3, because it's the beginning of the semester. I know it's due at the end of the semester, but you know, it's still important but not urgent, right? And lastly, quadrant 4 is your delete category, quote unquote delete category. So this is your non-important, non-urgent category. For instance, having to give a speech at the white coat ceremony that isn't for another 2 months, which I had to do, y'all. But you know it has to be done, but it's not as pressing. So these are just some of the strategies that you can use to help with your time management. And let me know which one you like best in the comments and how you plan to implement it. Like I said, I will have links for you down below where you can see how to use it, see a sample one, and where I got this information from. So personally, I categorize my assignments by due dates and priority. Such as like long assignments, like for instance the assessment portfolio, I would typically start that in the beginning of the semester if I'm not procrastinating, right? So I use the Eisenhower matrix often. Side note, thankfully my classmate used to make us as a cohort each semester an Excel sheet, color coordinated by class, with all of our assignments for that semester for each class. Shout out to her. Let's clap it up for her. Yay, thank you. That was a lifesaver, okay? A lifesaver. And I suggest you, if you don't do it already, you should do it. Now, as my contribution to the cohort, every semester, I would make us a schedule with the dates and times and locations of our classes, so that it was just easy for us to stay on track when we were in person, when we were online, things like that. Honestly, as a cohort, shout out to my cohort, class of 2024. We are a family. We work together with everything. We made sure we made it to the end of this program, because we really, you go through it. We go through it. So there's an app that I want to highlight that I recently discovered. It's called the Flora app. And this is not an ad, right? It's literally so cool because it pretty much locks your phone, almost like how Instagram and stuff, you can set like those timers on when you like don't want to get notifications and things like that. But it's for assignments, right? And it locks your phone, and you set the time for however long you want to do your focused work, right? Going back to the Pomodoro technique. And as the timer goes on, it grows trees, it grows plants and things like that. Isn't that so nice? Because I love plants. As you can see, I'm outside. I told you all, I love nature. I love surrounding myself with beautiful things outside that just grows from the ground, right? And it's something that keeps me really focused. But there's a catch, y'all. Guess. I know you're not going to guess, but when you unlock your phone, the trees die. I know, right? The trees literally die when you unlock your phone. They are like, you are not focused. You are not doing what you said you were going to do, right? In my opinion, I really like it because it keeps you accountable. What is life? What is friendship? What is school? What is anything without accountability? We need to take accountability. Keep yourself in check, okay? The Flora app will help you do that too. But yeah, so what apps do y'all use? Because I'm looking for a little bit more, maybe something different that's not as strict, Let me be a little bit of a procrastinator. But yeah, so I say all of this to say you want to strategize and plan. Strategize and plan. The point is to minimize that robot mentality where you just push and push and push and push, and now you don't have nothing left. Now you're exhausted. Now you can't be excited about the things that bring you joy because you're so exhausted because you just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. It's good to push through. It's good to have that determination, but you have to take care of yourself in between. You know what I mean? Prioritize your self-care. I'm always going to preach this for us OT students, grad students in general, students, everybody in life. Prioritize your self-care because why? What am I about to say? You matter. You matter. You matter. So this way you'll be able to handle your affairs with high energy and quality. So as occupational therapy students, honestly, mastering study work-life balance and integration is essential for our success and well-being in occupational therapy school. So by implementing these practical time management techniques and prioritizing, we can thrive in our academic and personal pursuits. Remember, finding balance is not a destination, but a journey. I'm going to say it again. Finding balance is not a destination, but a journey. So let's embark on it together. And I'm going to leave y'all with an affirmation of the day. My time is valuable and I spend it wisely. My time is valuable and I spend it wisely. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I love talking to y'all. And stay tuned for more content. Thank you so much. You see that wasp? Thank you so much for tuning in with me, tuning into the podcast. I really appreciate you all. And see you soon. Bye, besties. Thank you.